Hey everybody! Yeah, I'm chipper for a lousy game. Montreal was in Boston tonight to take on the first play. I think they're first overall. I know in the division, but I think they're first overall in the league. Boston Bruins, and looking for a win, needing a win to keep their slim playoff hopes alive. Um, I'll tell you all about the game. I'll tell you who scored, how they scored, and that's all right here at Talking Habs, the home of Habs hockey, where everything is dedicated to the Habs. And if you're a Habs fan and looking for daily content on the Habs, why don't you subscribe and ring the notifications bell? That's down there, and that'll get you your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge right here at Talking Habs. And while you're on the way down there to do that, you can give a thumbs up if you like the video. And I'd love to hear any comments that you do have about the game, about the Habs' hopes for the playoffs, anything like that in the comment section down below. Okay, so Montreal played a game against Boston. They really needed to win. They had lost against Arizona 2 nights ago. They needed this win because leading up to the trade deadline with the Arizona game, they had 7 games. They needed to go 5-2 in those 7 games, and so far they've gone 0 for 2. So essentially, they need to win their next 5 games to keep their playoff hopes alive. Unlikely to happen, honestly. And yeah, this was kind of like the second to last nail in the coffin for the Habs season. This is it. If they lose one more game in the next 5, it's pretty much done. So where does that leave us? It was an underwhelming game. It was a very hard game to watch. Boston, while not totally dominating them, definitely had the upper hand all game. Montreal never really looked completely in it. So, anyways, the first period starts, obviously, 6:59 in. And basically, look, it's I found at the beginning of the game, it was mostly Boston. And at the beginning, actually, Montreal had a little trouble getting out of their own zone in the first few minutes. So Boston started out right away, kind of taking control of the game. Um, it was basically back and forth for the first 6 minutes of the game. But I would say Boston had the what's the term I'm looking for? They had the most possession in the offensive zone, I would think, in the first few minutes. Then at 6:59, Drouin gives the puck away in the neutral zone, but like at the Canadiens part of the news. No, in the almost in the Boston zone, so right up at the Boston blue line, but in the neutral zone. He gives the puck over to Marchand. Um, I don't know. I guess it was Marchand. Anyway, Marchand someone skates it in. Marchand gets the puck. I don't know if I don't really think it was him that stole the puck, but might have been. And he finds Pasternak. He gets down near the crease and he finds Pasternak on the other side, and Pasternak just roofs it. He does. He roofs it up into the net, obviously, for his 39th goal, and it's from Marchand, and it's 1-0 Boston. And honestly, you got the feeling right there the game was over. It just you got that feel. For I did anyway. I got that feeling. This is no good. So it's the only goal of the game. 9 shots for Montreal, 11 for Boston. Each had a power play. They did not score on. Second period had a little bit more action. Overall, everything to it. At 4:16 into the second, Corrali steals the puck from Petrie in Boston zone. So there again, another basically 2 turnovers in Boston zone leads to goals. Anyway, Corrali races into Montreal zone and he finds Pasternak somewhere. I don't even remember where the shot came from, and Pasternak puts it past Price. So Pasternak gets his 40th from Corrali, and I believe that's Boston's first 40-goal scorer since Glenn Murray back in I don't remember when. But they hadn't had a 40-goal scorer for a long time, like Montreal hasn't, and that Pasternak gets 40, and more than likely will get 50 to 60 goals this season. At 4:52, anyways, it's looking bad. It's just looking like Montreal is just not coming back from this. But 30 seconds later, Scandella, he walks the line along the blue line in the Boston zone till he gets to about center, and he fires a puck. I saw that it hits Suzuki on the hip and goes in, and they credit it. in a funny way. To me, it's a funny way because to me, I saw Scandella take the shot, hit Suzuki, goes in. They credit it to Scandella, his 5th goal from Suzuki and Willette. And I just don't, maybe I missed something on the play. I don't get how that happened. I had written Suzuki for the goal from Scandella. And then when I went just to check, the time and get everything, and it had it as Scandella from Suzuki. So I don't know how Scandella gets the goal. Suzuki gets the assist by it hitting his hip. I don't get it. So that's what happened. I don't remember the time here, but probably around the 10-minute mark. There's gonna be an F-bomb here, so I'm warning everybody. There's some swearing coming up. Chara, the fucking piece of shit that he is, gets into a scrum, I guess, with Gallagher. Now Chara's here. Galley stands here. That's where his head is. And Chara cross-checks him right in the neck. Like that. And there's a call. They both get cross-checking penalties. But Galley's slow, so he cross-checked him in the arm, maybe in the back. He didn't cross-check him in the throat. So I don't know how there's not an extra penalty for that. Maybe a 5-minute major, even. I would have given it. And isn't that a headshot? It's up here. Isn't that a headshot with a stick? How does he not get that? I don't understand. I don't understand. The refs have their heads up their asses, I guess. That's what's going on these days in the NHL. The refs seem to have their heads up their asses. That's what I think. I didn't write the time of the penalty. Armia takes a holding. I think it's a holding call. Dumb call. I believe it's near Boston net. Power play. And this time, Boston doesn't waste much time on it. It didn't take. I don't think it was long into the power play. You know what I did? I was just so pissed off, and I wrote here: Petrie is having a bad night because it's on another Petrie misplay tonight with the puck. All 3 goals Petrie had something to do with. Against all 3 against, not the empty netter. So I only wrote here: Petrie's having a bad night. Pasternak with a hat trick. Pasternak is 41st, so he gets a natural hat trick. From Bergeron, an ass hat, I wrote. That's Marchand, by the way. Ass hat. It's a hard game to watch. It was just a hard game to watch. And by the way, I call him an ass hat because he speared Petrie earlier. It might have been the first period, but they had an altercation and pushing, shoving, hitting, whatever. He spears him, and he got the extra penalty for it, but the guy deserves a stick across his head. So we're going to call him ass hat from now on. I hate Marchand. So this is a hard game to watch. As I said, Domi, near the end of the period, he rings 2 shots off the post. No luck for Domi. Okay, so, shots on goal. 10 for Montreal, 15 for Boston. Power play for Montreal, no goal. Power play for Boston, a goal. 3rd period rolls around, and there is 1 goal scored. It's an empty netter at the end of the period. It's just a lot of back and forth. It wasn't as dirty in the 3rd period, I found. For some reason, I think that's because Boston was ahead. Montreal's the team chasing, and Montreal isn't that chippy. Montreal has respect for other hockey players in general, and they're not the chippy-ass, punk-ass Boston Bruins. Because if it was the other way around, guaranteed in a chippy game that was already like that Boston would have come after Montreal every which way they could and done stupid crap. Yeah, I'm angry. I'm sorry, but I'm angry. You know why I'm angry? I'll tell you why. I hate to see refs. I hate to see refs look at something that happens and don't call it properly. Chara, he's a big monkey. Freaking gorilla. And he hits a little guy like that in the neck and you don't call a special, he doesn't get an extra penalty. Come on. Not that it wouldn't have helped in the game. I get that. Montreal just didn't have it tonight, but I don't understand this with the refs. Anyway, at 1940, Bergeron into the empty net. So Bergeron is 24th from ass hat. It's 4-1 Boston with 20 seconds left. It's over, obviously. Habs totally outplayed by Boston tonight. Like totally outplayed by Boston. I also wrote here the magic is over. That 9-3 run, the magic's over. It's first of all, look, it's impossible for anybody to have done what they needed to do. It's hard to keep that pace up for any length of time. To expect it for 30 odd games or whatever it was going to be, it's not going to happen. So the magic's over. That's what it is. 29 shots on goal for Montreal, 38 for Boston, 57% in the faceoff circle for Montreal. They did well there. 0 for 3 on the power play, 1 for 3 for Boston. 3 stars on the night. First star, third star, Pasternak. Second star, Pasternak. Third star, Pasternak. It was all Pasternak, Marchand. I don't want to. Asshat's not getting a star. But that, I mean, there was no stars for Montreal. Nobody really elevated themselves to be a star. That's how I see it. Okay, so that's it. The next game is Friday against Pittsburgh. It is my birthday. At the same time, I will be on the air an hour before the game to do the pregame show, and we should have some fun. No more pressure. Look, there's not much pressure now. Honestly, maybe the one more game, one more loss in these 5 games, and it's absolutely over. That's where we sit. Okay, so that's it for the review. Thanks. If you like to give it a thumbs up, and while you're on the way down there to do that, subscribe and ring the notifications bell. If you want to see some daily Habs videos, you get that right here, Talking Habs. And that's it. Give it a thumbs up and leave any comments in the comment section. I do appreciate hearing what you guys have to say. So that's it. I'll see you on Friday, and peace out, everybody. Bye, y'all.